สวัสดีครับเพื่อนๆสมาชิกชาวกีตาร์ไทยวันนี้ผมพีทนะครับกับกีตาร์ไทยอินเตอร์วิวชแนลนะครับวันนี้ผมยังมีโอกาสพิเศษได้พาเพื่อนๆมาสัมภาษณ์คุณมาร์ค เคิร์กแลนด์นะครับเขาเป็น Artist Relation Manager ของทาง Yamaha นะครับ Okay, hello Mark.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here in Bangkok, Thailand for the Yamaha Laney Bangkok Music Fair 2012. It's an honour to be here. Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
Okay, Mark, can you tell us about your background?
Sure. I started in artist relations in the early 90s with Gibson, and ever since I was a young kid, I've just always been drawn to the guitar, and I sort of grew up in the 70s, and my early sort of music influences right from sort of the Beatles and Elvis, and as many kids of that generation grew up first listening to T-Rex and then Sweet and the glam 70s stuff. I was always drawn to the guitar, and before I'd even played guitar, and I just always knew that I wanted to work with guitars or be involved with guitars from an early age, and I started to learn to play classical guitar from when I was about 12, and took many years of lessons of that, and then played rock guitar, and was in rock bands, but I just never really had that thing in me to be a rock star, which I kind of thought I was going to be a rock star, but I knew deep down I wasn't really going to be a rock star. I think to be really successful as a player, you just have to have a real single-minded drive and almost like a bit of a personality trait in you that makes you want to be. And I just never really had that ego enough to want to do it seriously. So, but I mean, I love playing. I still play, and I just knew that I wanted to still work with guitars full time. So at school, I had a Saturday job repairing guitars and making guitars in the local music store. And when I left school, I still worked at the store and went to college to learn how to make and repair guitars. When I was 16, and then still playing guitar, and I was still sort of working with guitars. Then I left college and did guitar repair full time as a luthier, and then I started to tech for bands. Friends of mine that were professional players, I'd guitar tech for them a little bit, and through working with them, I then started to go down to the Gibson office in London. The artist office, and thought actually that's what I want to do. I kind of want to work with artists and be involved in that, and I just forced my way into working at Gibson, and did that for 5 or 6 years in the London office in the early 90s, which was an exciting time for guitar music then. And Slash was becoming really big, and Zakk Wylde, and it was like the tail end of really big American rock bands, you know, before grunge kind of really took hold and killed it. So yeah, I did that, and I've always just kind of been involved in it, and loved the sort of the work and the creativity of working with artists, really. So yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah.
Okay, and now you're working for Yamaha.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the process of choosing the artist for Yamaha to support?
Well, I mean, can I just firstly say that working for Yamaha Artist Relations is the dream job for me. It's just absolutely an amazing job. Working for Gibson was a completely different. It was the same job title, but a completely different way of working. At Yamaha, the care and the support that Yamaha as a company give its artists is beyond compare to any other company, I think, really. So it's a real joy to work within Yamaha in the artist relations field, you know. As far as picking artists, I mean, obviously we don't have the resources to give guitars to every artist that wants to play a guitar, so you really have to be a little bit selective, and there's no definite criteria, but it's kind of a gut instinct that either you see something in an artist that you believe if they're just starting, you believe that they will have big appeal, that they have a talent, that they're communicating something that you think a lot of people will understand, be it, you know, with in any genre of music that could be. Whether the products that we have at the moment suit that artist. It's an art of the job. One of the many parts of the job that requires a little bit of thought is approaching an artist with the right guitar. It's kind of pointless approaching a sort of an indie artist with a pointy headstock type guitar or a certain kind of acoustic guitar that won't suit them. So having the product to match the artist's image wise and also style wise and sound wise is quite important. So there's a lot of criteria, but it's not necessarily based on whether they're huge. That's not really what it's about, really, to be honest. Which is good for any artist thinking that I have to be a huge artist to get an endorsement. That's not necessarily true. I mean, I work with a few bands that are just up and coming. You have to be signed to a record label. You have to have serious management, which is the basic criteria. But apart from that, you don't have to be worldwide superstar to be endorsed. So.
Okay, so any artist you would like to recommend to us?
I work with a UK band at the moment called Zico Chain, which are a three-piece band, but they've been around for a few years, and we actually work quite closely with them. We sort of co-produce their music videos with them and support them in that way. And they're just starting to tour again now with a new album, which is really good. They're very, very kind of very current sounding band, and they're playing the Pacifica guitars, these new Pacifica guitars, and BB basses, and also Yamaha drums too. So they're a real kind of Yamaha band. But I work with many artists from all different genres. So I work with some country artists and some real metal artists and some indie rock artists and stuff. So many types of music. I'm not sure whether many of them, the basic underground UK artists will translate to Thai market. I'm not sure, but the bigger artists, of course,
Okay, so and I heard that you also a part of development team for
That's right.
guitar.
Yes, well, there's a small group of people. Actually, the basic conception of Yamaha is that it's a huge corporation, which it is. But Yamaha Guitars is actually a very small number of people. Worldwide, probably the team of people that design and develop and produce Yamaha guitars is probably about 20 people worldwide. And we call this team of people Yamaha Guitar Development, of which myself and my colleague in the UK, Julian Ward, who's Global Marketing Manager, we're kind of the UK-based side of Yamaha Guitar Development. And we have some staff in Japan and also in Los Angeles who are part of the team too. So as part of that team, Julian and I decided to develop the Pacifica guitar in a certain way and bring it up to date a little bit. And we had basically the input on speccing the new Pacifica. This is the 611, and we just decided to really kind of develop the theme of the LA boutique guitar, which Pacifica originally was when it first started. It was a very expensive boutique guitar 20 years ago from LA Custom Shop, and we wanted to sort of revisit that image of what Pacifica used to be. So these are basically for any guy that wants to play a Tom Anderson or a Shure or some really expensive Los Angeles-based, high-end boutique guitars. These are basically the affordable version of that. So we wanted to spec them with really high-end parts, and almost like a guitar that you would buy stock and then put your own pickups on, or change the bridge or change the machine head. So we basically did it out of the box, so you don't really have to do that. So that was the idea. So we wanted to use the perfect pickups and the perfect bridge materials, etc. So we just spent a few weeks going through loads of different Seymour Duncan pickups to try and find the best one.
So what is this?
This is a Duncan Custom 5, which is quite a rare Duncan humbucker, not really very widely used. Alnico 5 magnet, slightly hotter 59 PAF type sort of style, you know, and that's split coiled from this.
It can be split.
Yeah, this is a Duncan P91, which is the real vintage spec P90, and it's even wound on the old 50s Lasser winding machine that Seymour Duncan still have, it's an original vintage spec guitar pickup. And these we went through some P90s in my living room with a soldering iron to actually do this, just to changing P90s to find the perfect one. So that's the one we used. We used Graphtec parts, so all this is Graphtec, very non-friction. Grover locking machine heads, Graphtec string saver saddles here. So just wanted to make it as pro as we could, but at an affordable price. So in the UK these are £500, £550 I think, probably maybe even a little bit less. So we did this one and also this one, which is the 510V, same guitar. And also we spec'd this version as well, which is the same body material. It's the same, just solid order body, the same as the 611. And the whole reason behind this was completely selfish, that we just love single pickup guitars. We just think they're really cool. So taking a bit of an inspiration from the sort of the Gary Moore Charvels from his early 90s guitars, etc. We wanted to do a single pickup guitar, but make it slightly different. A single humbucker is a little bit limiting for today's players. So this is a P-Rails from Seymour Duncan, which is actually an exclusive pickup to this guitar. This doesn't exist on any other guitar because it's trem spaced. And we co-funded the machine with Seymour Duncan to make this pickup for this guitar, so that's not available on any other guitar. So it's basically a P90 and a rail together, and then back position is a humbucker, and then middle position is a P90, and that's a single chord. So you get a really kind of varied tone out of it. Wilkinson trem, which has got a really nice solid steel block. It's not really expensive trem. And then the rest is the same. It's the only difference is it's not a matching headstock. And I think these are about, I don't know, in English money, maybe 420, 430 or something. So, you know, really affordable, but great quality and great sounding guitar. And we're constantly doing work on the Pacifica range. We're going to be doing more variations of pickups, more variations of trems, etc. So it's an exciting part of my job is to tinker with guitars and, you know, come up with designs and very cool.
So maybe the last questions.
Yes.
Why Yamaha?
For an artist, you mean?
Yeah, for everyone. I mean, for artists and for the guitarist.
Well, I mean, we are realistic at Yamaha. We know that the big two companies, being Fender and Gibson, we can't compete with the sort of the world domination of Fender, etc. And it's not really our place to do that, you know. There's a difference with Yamaha, and the difference really is the quality is extremely high, even at entry level guitars, compared to a lot of other companies. They really do meticulously spec the guitars, and the manufacturing is second to none quality wise. We offer something different. I mean, the whole point of these guitars is that you won't really find another guitar like this at this kind of price, or even at any price really, unless you go up to the high-end LA boutique guitars. So it's just something a little different if you want to stand out from the crowd, if you don't want to be seen as yet another Strat player or another Telecaster player, you know, and have some individuality. The support structure of Yamaha for an artist is great. I mean, we have a worldwide network. We're a huge company globally, so we can really promote an artist really, and we really get involved with our artists as well. They're proper real relationships. They're not just a face on a poster and then next. You know, we really do kind of invest some time, and we have personal relationships with all our artists as well. So, you know, it's a very caring company to be involved with, basically.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
ครับก็นะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวเรามาลองตามดูกันว่ากีตาร์ไทย International จะพาเพื่อนๆไปสัมภาษณ์ใครอีกนะครับสวัสดีครับ